Hello and welcome. This is BQ Prime. I am Agam Vakil, and we are having conversations around earnings. This is Q2 with BQ. And this morning we have with us Shaunak Amin, who is the Managing Director at Alembic Pharmaceuticals. Shaunak, good morning and thank you for joining in. It's been a steady quarter. Of course, we're looking at an 8% growth in terms of your revenues. We've seen a little bit of a contraction in your margins as well. That's had a little bit of an impact on your profitability. But on the whole, how are you assessing this quarter and what can we expect going forward?
Yeah, Agam, thank you. If I could break it down, I think if you look at the US and the ex-India business, I think on there's been, on the US side, we've seen some recovery and we've seen some stability in the business, more due to bottoming out of the business, as well as in terms of some new launches in the US. Ex-US business, importantly, has contributed to a decent growth, plus the API business. On the India side, we did see 7% growth, but that's partly due to an extended summer season, as well as a very subdued market based on a high growth from last year, which was possibly due to COVID hangover, if you could call it that. Ex of that, the India business has performed quite well. So in terms of the business at an overall level, I think this has been a quarter where you'd say we have seen some amount of stability back in the business compared to last year.
Right, Shaunak, so the little bit of contraction in your EBITDA margins, is this largely on account of your product mix? I do suppose that the pharmaceutical industry has faced the delay in monsoons to be a factor which may have played against you or in favor of you. But has that been a factor for you?
I would say the margin contractions are more due to expensing out of our plants, which were not there last year. As you're aware, I think we have quite a few new facilities catering to the US market. So partly due to that, as well as some amount of, product mix does drive the margins. But like I said, it would be hard for me to say this is, I would say it's not a one-off, but it's just a factor of the product mix that you do sell in the quarter, and we expect maybe it could change next quarter or the next few quarters.
Right. Shaunak, also want your view on how things are panning out when it comes to US generics. You're seeing near 14% growth, sequential growth in this business. What's going on here, considering you guys already have few launches and you guys are already also working and investing in a few facilities here?
Yeah, so I think the US business, like I said, it's, we do see a bit of bottoming out in terms of pricing pressure in the US. And, we've had some new launches and we just expect to kind of keep building on this base and build some momentum back up in the market going forward. So at the moment, we are, I wouldn't say we're bullish on it, but I would say there is some amount of confidence that we expect this run rate to continue to some extent.
Okay, in terms of the drugs which are under consideration and which could potentially be a part of your business going forward over the next couple of quarters, can you give us an idea about what are you working on, what can be a part of the business moving forward, which can start contributing meaningfully?
From the US point of view, usually we don't comment on new launches at this point in time. So maybe next quarter I would come back to you again with post the launches.
Okay. Finally, Shaunak, your view on just the outlook for not just FY24 but FY25, considering the plans that you have. What are the investments you're making, and what areas are you going to make, which could start potentially adding meaningfully over the next couple of years?
Yeah. So Agam, I think more so, I think if you look at our past, we've made significant expenses in the US business, especially on new dosage forms. And if you ask me, I think more than additional expenses, I think going forward, we're going to be seeing more of kind of commercialization of what money has been spent in the last few years in terms of plants, R&D. And we expect some of the commercialization of that rather than fresh new investments in new plants or new product lines going forward.
Okay, fair enough, Shaunak. We leave it at that. Thank you so much for taking us through your quarter's earnings. Also, wish you a happy Diwali and a prosperous New Year.
Thank you, Agam. Thank you. All the best to you. Thank you.
Yeah.